All right, folks. Today I've got some new heads. I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm going to sharpen them up, mount them, and just give you some initial impressions, maybe a size comparison as well. So these are the Ace Super Express, and you can kind of see how they come. Packing list. Traditional bow hunter subscription. Ace archery tackle pin. I bought these from Ace actually. Nice pin. These were $39.95 for 6. So, all right. I'm familiar with Ace. I really like the Ace standard, and I wanted to try something a little different with this new. I've got some new arrows, some Rose City archery cedars. So, anyway, I'm gonna open these bad boys and kind of give you some thoughts, sharpen them up, and mount them on this arrow. So one thing I noticed about Ace is that since I've used them is the steel. I really like the steel. I don't know. I mean, some steel nuts probably complain about it, but for what I do, I've been extremely impressed. They sharpen easy. You can touch them up easy. Shoot them into the ground on the other side of a deer. Touch them up. They're ready to go. So I'm probably only going to mount one. I'm going to hunt tomorrow, so I'm just going to mount one up. But to give you a size comparison, okay, size comparison. Here's a Ace standard compared to the Super Express, and this is actually the 175 Super Express. There's a 200 grain Super Express that doesn't have the vents. So I'll lay these out here, see if I can get them on a piece of paper so you can a little bit better contrast here. All right, Super Express. Here's a standard. Here's a high speed. Here's a German Jaeger, and here is a tree shark, just to give you an idea. So here we'll lay this across on this tree shark. So lengthwise is about the same. Definitely a bigger head than the standard. It's going to give you a little bit more cut, and you've got some added length with that as well. I don't know how well they're going to fit in one of these quivers. I'll probably use my side quiver anyway, but here's the standard EFA 4 arrow. So that's going to be sticking out a bit, most likely, but we'll see. A lot of times I'll just use the side quiver anyway. I've got a motley of heads in here. I think I'm shooting right now a Tusker. Oh yeah, here's a Tusker next to him as well. Tusker Concord, and again I've got a tree shark in there, so a few different heads. I'm going to get this arrow prepared, and then we'll mount this thing up and sharpen it. So before I get the arrow ready, for you guys that are wondering about how close they are to 175 on the grains, we'll see here. So 175 on the money, 177, 180, 177, 179, and 178. So not too bad. That's really not bad at all. When we move into the sharpening too, the factory grind usually isn't too bad. I mean, it's definitely not sharp. They need sharpened, but they come with a pretty decent factory grind. I'm going to modify that a little bit though. All right, I've got my arrow marked where I want it, and I'm just going to cut this sucker off with this miter box and saw. not too bad. You can get by with doing all this stuff on the kitchen table if your wife's not home. So, to taper. Again, these are 23/64s, so they're a little tight in this taper tool. They're very tight in this taper tool. But it'll work. Alright. Once I have that, I'm going to hit it with this sanding block just a little bit around this edge. Alright. So, nice taper. We're going to check the fit. It's going to be tight. And if there's any at all sticking out, especially with these being a little bit fatter arrows, I will I'll hit that edge with some True Oil at the very end. All right, so I'm going to grab a candle, light that sucker up. I have some glue somewhere. Alright, I'm getting low on glue. So, the arrow side, I'm going to go ahead and coat that sucker pretty good. Alright, and then the head, I'm going to burn that out a little bit on the inside. I don't know what's in there. If there's any oils or anything in there. So I'm going to get that nice and hot. Set that up here. Go back to the arrow side. Don't burn your glue up too bad. But I wanted to get it nice and warm. And then we are going to twist. And twist. Alright. Then I take something that's not this table. And I'm going to get the head nice and warm. Where I can twist it. I'm going to apply some pressure and then warm again. And then on this twist, I'm going to put the head in the right alignment. I like it 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock, so it's out of my peripheral vision. So I'm going to see where that lies. Oh, she's hot. Take another look. Still hot. And pressure. Once that's done, check the spin. Not too bad. We can tweak that a little bit after we sharpen. But it's mounted up. It's actually mounted up pretty good for these larger shafts. The 11/32 shafts fit in here really nicely, so not too bad. All right, sharpening. I've got my work sharp set up, and I've got a wheelie. That's about all I use. I used to do the file thing. I'd file for hours. It's kind of enjoyable. Now I just do this, and that's it. So the work sharp with the guides will not work very well. It wants to contact on your ferrule. So this is how I do it. I have the coarsest grind belt in here. I'm trying to do this with this camera in front of me. All right, what I do, make a couple passes, make sure I'm laying evenly across that grind. If there's just a little bit of burr up here, I'm going to leave it because it's going to come out. And so what was that, 3? So we're going to go, I'm going to go about 6, switch, back and forth, 6 strokes per each side. So. All right, and then we're going to switch to the other side. Be careful not to keep the broadhead moving on the belt, or you'll burn up a spot, or you'll have your edges will get all tapered in. So where am I at now? Here we go. All right, 6 per side. You're starting to get a decent little edge on there. That's all I do with that belt. Your medium coarse belt, I'm going to install that. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go 6 per side, and then I'm going to rotate back and forth. Here we go. All right, not too bad. You can see the difference in the way the edge looks from where I started. I'm going to leave the tip where it's at, and that is about all I do with the work sharp. So then we go to the wheelie. On the wheelie, and I use this wheelie because, like, when we go on long hunts and things, I can carry this in my pack. It's light, so I'll kind of set this edge to touch up with this, and that's all I ever use anymore. On the wheelie, I make sure it is about a 45-degree angle to start out with, and I can feel what it's taken off and if it's taken off evenly. Go about 3, spin them, 3, spin them, switch sides, 1, 2, 3, spin them, 1, 2, 3. Some heads, they'll be ready to go right now. Some of them I will switch and see what it does if I go on a 90. So I'm going to do a 90. Just a few times. Spin it. And I'm going to reduce pressure at this point. Now, at this point, it should be fairly sharp. I'll adjust anywhere from there with pressure on the sides, that if it doesn't look like it's sharp. But usually at this point, it'll shave hair pretty good on both sides. So there you go. It's mounted up. I may heat up and wipe off a little bit of this extra glue. It will shave hair. I'm going to hunt in the morning, and this is going to be the head that I'm going to use. We'll do a little testing. If I shoot something with this, I'll do an update on this video. I hope you like it. Remember, if you like this sort of stuff, to like and subscribe. Thanks, everybody.